Hey everyone, this is Badass Severe, and today I'll be doing a comparison of different Marvel Legend figures and one Marvel Select figure. I wanted to do a comparison of all the Thor figures that I own in my collection and tell you guys what I think is probably the best and what is the worst. Now this is all based on my opinion. You guys might find it different for each one of you, but I wanted to go through all of them. I think I have every Thor figure that's come out through Marvel Legends. I don't have all the selects, obviously. Well, it's not quite obvious, but the only select Thor figure I have is the new modern Thor, which I don't. I wanted to add to this because I think it's probably up there on that list, if not the best. But I guess we're gonna kind of stick to more Marvel Legends, but we'll talk about the Select in a little bit. But we'll kind of just leave him off to the side, even though I really don't have any room to put anyone anywhere because there's so many. Let's go over my least favorite right now first, and we'll kind of work our way to the best. My least favorite would have to be Series 3, Thor here. I picked him up. I don't really even know why I picked him up. I was just kind of wanting to find a definitive Thor for my collection, and I wanted a classic one, a classic look, but I just didn't want to spend the price for the Giant Man series because he was still kind of expensive at this point, and he still kind of is, but we'll get to him in a minute. But I kind of thought he doesn't look too bad. But I definitely don't like this figure in general just because I think his proportions are very weird. He looks like he has a beer belly. His arms are sticking way out. They look very, I don't know, the arms aren't the worst part of it, but his hands are not sculpted very well. He can barely hold his hammer because the hand or the fingers are loose to the point where his heavy hammer doesn't clamp onto it very good. The hammer itself, it's got some nice detail, but it's kind of short and fat, so I didn't really like that too much. But it's not a bad looking hammer. It's just I think the proportions are a little off on it, and I'm sure it just depends on maybe the artist or something like that, which is typically the major thing with these figures. But Toy Biz has always had a more realistic kind of look to their figures, as Hasbro is more cartoony and comic book looking. I just didn't like the proportions. I don't like the articulation, even though it's not terrible, but it's just not the best, and the head sculpt is very bad. And granted, this is early Marvel Legends for Toy Biz, so I can't really, say that they did a terrible job considering what they go on to do. But in terms of what we have, especially now, I think it's definitely, like, compared to all the other ones, it's not as good. Some might say this is their favorite, and that's fine. That's your opinion. This is just mine. I really just can't find anything good about this figure, other than maybe the paint. The paint's okay. I think the paint is alright, but he seems very glossy to me, and he just has this weird, like, I don't know, kind of weird color to him. I do like his cape, however, just because it's just straight up and down. It's not wavy or anything, which I don't really like on Thor figures because it's just kind of annoying. I'd rather it just drape down, but it's just so out there. It just makes him look a lot larger than he really is. So that's why I decided he's probably my favorite. But it's everyone's opinion. But I just think he's my least favorite. I don't particularly like this figure at all. My next would have to be the new Marvel Now Thor from Hasbro. This is just a kind of rehashed and like a lazy attempt at a Marvel Now figure. It's basically just the exact same figure as the Heroic Age Thor that we have over here, but it's worse. And not to say that's a bad figure, but It's just the head sculpt's not very good. It's very weird and glossy. Whoops. I like the helmet. The helmet's nice. Very nice. I wish I could take the helmet off and put it on a different figure, but the face just looks really horrible to me. It's all like smashed up, and he looks like he just stepped in dog shit. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I just I didn't like the head. I actually cut this thing off in the back to see if it would give more articulation, but I need to Dremel out all this extra gunk. The arms they have no skin tone at all. He's pretty much a pale, like he's very pale. There's no detail in the arm at all. They took away all the cool sculpting that was with the heroic age. His hammer was actually the best part of him, I thought, which I actually gave to my Marvel Select Marvel Now Thor. So now he has the Select Thor hammer. But it's just, the body is literally the exact same. The torso, everything's the exact same on this figure except for the coloring, and they took away some detail. I don't like it, and it really was just a lazy reuse of a figure. But I don't know what else to say. I didn't really find anything, good about this guy. He's not terrible, but I mean, considering what we have, I'd have to say he's probably second worst on my list. Next, we look at the Marvel Legends movie Thor. I know this isn't really comic book. Well, it's not comic book stylized. And I can't get everyone to stand, so I'm just going to take all you off the thing. Sorry about that. So I know it's not comic book style, but I thought since he's Marvel Legends, I'd add him. I actually really like this figure. And this is actually the Thor movie version, not the Avengers Walmart exclusive, even though they were both Walmart exclusives. This is from the first Thor movie, which actually had a lot more detail than the Avengers one. I just put the Chris Hemsworth head on this figure because I thought it looked cooler. This version is actually very nice. However, I mean, for a movie figure, this is probably the best we'll get. I don't know how the new Marvel Legends Thor is going to look for the Age of Ultron movie, but definitely for a movie one Thor movie figure, this is probably the best one. I don't know about the Select, but I do think this is a pretty good figure. Articulation is very good. The cape is nice. It's a little long, but at least it's it's good looking. Overall, I thought this is a great figure. He's only lower on my list simply because there's three other figures that I like. But he's not a bad figure. He's just lower because I do kind of like some other figures. But definitely pick this figure up if you don't have him. He's a little bit harder to get, but this one's kind of a tight spot because I don't know. I'm kind of split on the two, but it's kind of a mashup between these two for the next one. So number 3 would either have to be the Giant Man series Thor or the modern age Thor. And I don't know, I'm kind of leaning more towards the Giant Man Thor just because this is a pretty old figure, and I really wish they would give an updated Thor figure this kind of look and use the Hyperion body. I think that would look very good. I really wish they would update this design of the character or this costume for a new body from Hasbro. That's something I'm really looking forward to. I think that would definitely be probably one of my favorites. I think this is my favorite costume of Thor. However, the limbs on him are getting very loose. He's kind of hard to stand. I don't like the way his cape is set up because it's really weird and clunky. It's kind of windswept, but it's got this huge lump in the back, which I don't like at all because it makes him really back heavy. Although he is very nice looking, the paint's nice. The head sculpt and everything was great. The hammer is very nice. It's got some of the writing on there, which is something we don't really see on any of the Thor figures. Articulation is pretty good. I think he's probably the best one out of the bunch in some ways. I think, although I think some of the articulation on most of the other figures is pretty much the same as this one, or maybe even better. But yeah, this is a great figure, but I would definitely like to see an updated figure form of this costume. So coming in at number 2 spot is the heroic Age Thor. This Thor I thought was really good. This came out in Hasbro's Return of Marvel Legends Series 1. It's a very nice figure. You can get a lot of good poses out of it. Articulation is not the best, but I think in terms of sculpt and detail, it was actually pretty nice. I really like the way this chainmail looks, or however you wish to call it. The way, like, the sculpting, the paint, it was just, I just think it looks like a really nice figure. I like the height on him because he's a lot taller than all the other figures. So that's why I thought this was a really great figure. Also, I just think he looks, this is probably like my second favorite look for him, just because I really like the way the heroic Age Avengers were drawn. So I just think overall this is a really nice looking figure, which is why he comes at my number 2 spot. If this were Marvel Legends, he would be my number 1. But since this is a Thor comparison review, we have to look at all the Thors that I own. Well, I'm going to look at them. And definitely number 1 would have to go to this Thor, the Marvel Select Thor that just came out. This one, I think, is a perfect combination of everything you could want. The design is very nice. It's kind of close to the heroic Age and kind of in between the old, you know, what's it called, the Giant Man one. Just the colors are not the same. I just thought it was really nice. I like the way the paint detailing is. I know, like, it's not like crazy, but it just, everything about this figure works. He's got everything that I want out of a Thor figure. He's got the cape that drapes down. He's got the really good amount of articulation for the figure, or for the character. He comes with the giant swinging hammer effect, which is something we've never gotten before, except for with the Mini-Mates. Interchangeable head, interchangeable hands. He comes with a lot of accessories, which most Thor figures don't, other than the hammer. So it's just really nice to have different, you know, posability options and different ways to display them. And I think out of all the Thor figures I own, this is probably just my favorite one of all time, because he looks the best and he has the best articulation. It is kind of debatable, but pretty much to everyone, they have about the same amount of articulation. I just think this one's executed a lot better. So that is why this is my favorite Thor figure. But that's just my opinion, guys. If you guys, you know, think maybe some things were switched around, maybe just let me know, or let me know what you guys thought. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a little bit long, but there's a lot of figures to go through. If you like this sort of thing, maybe I'll do Spider-Man next, because I was kind of planning on doing Spider-Man. Kind of comparing all the Spider-Man figures that we have so far of him. So if you like it, let me know. If you don't, let me know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later.